You know, earlier this year when we got like Scream 6 and Megan, I thought we might be all out of great horror movies this year, but I was mistaken because The Blackening just came out, and while it's not a traditional like straight up horror movie, which the other ones really aren't either, this is more of a comedy with horror stuff in it, and it is so good. I loved it. I wasn't expecting it because I didn't really have it on my radar, but Tim Story directed it, which if you aren't familiar, I'd be surprised if you aren't, because he directed the Fantastic Four movies and not that Fant Four stick bullshit, the actual good stuff from 2005 with like Michael Chiklis as the Thing, all that good stuff. And he directed also like Ride Along with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, which I think are funny movies for what it's worth, and there's a few other things in there that I'm trying to remember right offhand, but oh yeah, Shaft in 2019, like the Legacy sequel. I thought these were all really fun, like action built-in comedies, but this is the first time I've really seen him dip into horror, and he did it really well, because like I said, it is more comedy than horror, but the horror elements are definitely there, and the setting with the cabin in the woods that could get overdone a little bit, I don't think it's overdone at all in this, and the different shots they use as well as the set design itself I think is very good, and the way they mix in like the killer looking at them from the outside, like all these different slasher elements that were built up from other horror movies and you're paying tribute to it. I still think it's very original in different ways too, because it is an all-black cast, and that's really fun because you don't really have that often, and especially in older horror movies, it's all like the black people die first, so and it is so much fun. They play into those like stereotypes of race as well as different like horror movie character attributes and stereotypes and things like that, and the script writing in here is fantastic, and one of the characters in the movie that's Dwayne, I want to say his name is Dwayne in real life too, and he's one of the writers of the movie, and I think he did a fantastic job of balancing all the different horror as well as comedy, and kind of just being self-aware and kind of saying a message of like black people aren't expendable and you can't just use them as like fodder for your horror movies and stuff like that. Like it has something to say while also still being just a straight up funny movie and very entertaining. I never got bored at all. It's a quick like less than 90-minute movie, and it works so well because like I said, it has the moments of tension, but it is hilarious. I didn't stop laughing the whole time, and that's really a big tribute to all the characters and the actors in this movie. They're written so well and they're acted up even bigger than that because they're all hilarious. They all have their moments where they're like, they have their different setups beforehand, like the one character is drinking a bunch of sugar and that comes into play, and it all just works so well, and I was laughing as well as almost like on the edge of my seat wondering who the killer is and why it's all happening, and I just had so much fun with this. And I'm wearing my Scream shirt because it honestly feels like a Scream movie but in 2023 and with an all-black cast, and I think it's fantastic, and I would love to see more movies like this. It was so good, and let me know what you think. Do you think it feels like a fun horror comedy? What's your favorite horror comedy like right now? Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is still really high up there for me, as well as the Scream movies, obviously, even though these are more horror than comedy, but I just love movies like that, and there's so much fun, and this one's no exception. And on my 5-star rating scale, it's sitting right around like a 3.5, but I think I'm gonna put it at a 4 out of 5. This is the kind of movie that if you can see it in theaters with a big crowd, go do it as soon as you can, and if there's not a big crowd available, maybe even wait till you get it at home and bring all your friends over. It's one of those movies that everyone's just gonna laugh and have fun with, in my opinion. So let me know what you thought about it, and I will see you next time. Maybe even at the movies.